We have a 5-star commitment alert for the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll break that down and more on today's show. But to celebrate, spam OH for me in the comments section of today's show. Bonus points if you get someone to respond with IO. Let's break down the latest on the Ohio State Buckeyes. We've got the 5-star commitment, the aforementioned one there. Maybe some not great news on Julian Sayin that we'll discuss here, and some other spring practice updates as well for OSU. Let's begin with the positive. The 5-star commitment, Blaine Bradford, it's a fun name for a safety, by the way, is committing to OSU. Hayes Fawcett, which normally does the stuff in collaboration with the recruits, announced that one on there, tweeting out this one with BIA Buckeyes. I like it. I think it's fun. I think Bradford is a big get for Ohio State. We'll go in depth on this here momentarily, but this is a sizable addition. This is the number 1 ranked safety in the 24/7 Sports Composite rankings for the 2026 recruiting class. Number 2 player, by the way, in the state of Louisiana. Number 23 overall in these current rankings. The final 4 for Bradford were Ohio State, LSU, which you would have kind of guessed had some local advantages there, Oregon, and then Texas. So you're beating some of the best recruiting options in the class out there. So a huge get there for the Buckeyes. Yeah, obviously it's 2026, but that's still a sizable pickup for OSU. Looking way ahead to the 2026 recruiting class, this is where things currently sit for Ohio State. Maybe not way ahead, but looking ahead, I should say. Maxwell Riley, the 4-star offensive tackle. These are all some recent commitments, by the way. Sam Greer, number 17 overall. Tucker Smith, the 3-star offensive lineman. Then Blaine Bradford, the 23rd overall recruit, a 5-star. He joins fellow 5-star Chris Henry. So right now, OSU has the number 1 ranked wide receiver and the number 1 ranked safety. Jacob Witherspoon, the athlete, is 175 overall. 4-star tight end Corbin Fordham, and then 3-star receiver Jaden Ricketts. So the class maybe got off to a little bit of a slow start. It's not a huge surprise. That's sometimes how it goes. And I would safely assume that it's only going to continue to grow, and we'll finish in the top 3, top 2, top 1, where the Buckeyes normally end up finishing. So give me your one-word reaction to the commitment of Blaine Bradford for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Hit that sub button for me right now, youtube.com/GoBucks. It is the pinned comment, by the way, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. I don't want to sound a bunch of alarms here, but we will always discuss what is being discussed for Ohio State. Alex Gleitman has maybe some negative updates coming out of spring practice with Julian Sayin. Here's what he wrote for 11 Warriors, of course, by the way. Starting with the QB position, I am told that it was not Julian Sayin's best day on Saturday. That doesn't mean alarm bells ringing at all, but in the first extended scrimmage session of the spring, Sayin left a lot to be desired. On the flip side, Lincoln Kienholz had a pretty consistent day, I am told. My money is still on Sayin to win the quarterback battle, but I continue to hear this is a legitimate battle, and that Kienholz has definitely put in the work to push the second-year signal caller, if nothing else. One observer told me Tavian St. Clair is, quote-unquote, way behind the other two at this time. Look, this does kind of sound like it's going to be a real battle for the quarterback role as the starter, and maybe not so much to back up with that reporting on Tavian St. Clair, which is okay. I do want to make one thing clear, and sometimes we kind of get caught up in this, but in the day-to-day stuff, progression isn't linear. Now, big picture, it ends up being linear, but you have ups and downs. You have a great day on Monday, and then you have a not-so-great day on Wednesday, and you kind of bounce back on Thursday, and then, Saturday you have a fantastic day. It is not always a straight vertical line up. It's up and down. It's choppy at times. In the big picture, when you look back and kind of widen that lens from not just day-to-day or week-to-week, but month-to-month, year-to-year, you see a general upward arc. There is a lot of time for the Sayin growth to play out, for the quarterback battle to play out for the Ohio State Buckeyes. It probably won't be solidified until fall. And if it does, it's actually probably a positive thing then, because that means someone took a hold of that job and earned it pretty quickly. But this is going to take some time to play out, and we will certainly keep you guys updated on it. For more Ohio State football national championship gear, if you haven't already got yours or you want more, go to chatsports.com/OSU champs. Hats, hoodies, T-shirts, some other miscellaneous stuff in between. I like the black and gold. I just think it looks good. Plus, of course, there's big old OSU icons on it. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. It's chatsports.com/OSU champs. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Let's go to some positive updates here. Devin Sanchez is balling. That is the report from Gleitman again, who says he's got a source who told him that Sanchez has, quote-unquote, real chance to be the defensive version of Jeremiah Smith. Obviously, this would be awesome. It is only a positive thing if your 5-star corner plays like the best receiver in college football already, but on the defensive side of the ball. And even if the bar's too high there for Sanchez, and the end result is he's just an impact freshman, I think that's a pretty big win. I think that is a great outcome to have a 5-star freshman come in and be a critical impact piece for you. He's number 6 overall, was number 6 overall, I should say, in the 2025 composite rankings. Number 1 ranked corner, number 3 player of the state of Texas. Yeah, the number 1 ranked receiver have a huge impact for you. If he can even be just a good starter as a true freshman, and you might only get 3 years of him at that point, but you could have 3 really impactful years. Now, Davison Igbinosun is going to be 1 starter. Jermaine Matthews is the incumbent, so to speak, but maybe Devin Sanchez can beat him out. Maybe Sanchez can earn a starting role and have a long-term quarterback piece. And then at minimum, okay, now you got great depth with Matthews. You can do some nickel stuff if you wanted to in there as well. Or God forbid, knock on wood, someone gets hurt. You got pieces. You got depth that you always want in college football. So will Devin Sanchez start week 1? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off where else but the comments section of today's show. Let's discuss some Matt Patricia updates here as well. Gleitman also says that the guy everyone can't stop saying enough good things about is Matt Patricia. Here's what Gleitman wrote. I hope it's Gleitman, not Gleitman. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. If not, Alex, I'm terribly sorry. I've only seen it written, frankly. He's brought a tremendous positive energy and has been the ultimate teammate thus far. He hasn't had an ego at all, which is some thought a former NFL coach and Super Bowl winning coordinator might have, and has, quote-unquote, fully given himself to committing to the process, as one source put it. People who have spent time with Patricia have told me how great of a defensive mind he is. And it seems like the goal was for the same defense system that Ohio State played last year, but to put his own twists and fingerprints on it. I view this as a win. It means you can kind of let Larry Johnson do his highly successful thing along the defensive line. You can let some of your younger defensive backs coaches continue to implement the way things they want to do. And you kind of got the glue, the linchpin, the signal caller kind of tying it all together. Look, you're coming off a national championship. It's March, now almost April. It's kind of just positivity season where everyone's feeling good. But I think that is still a good thing to hear. It's better than hearing the alternative and being like, yeah, there's friction. You at least want to hear the positive things. Now, for more Ohio State spring practice updates, we've got you covered. Do not miss out. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/GoBucks. The safety battle continues to unfold. Obviously, Caleb Downs in Columbus for 1 more year, and then he's off to the NFL to be a top whatever draft pick. It's Blake Hartford and Jalen McClain battling right now. Here's what Alex wrote on the safety battle. In the back end, there's a great battle going on between Blake Hartford and Jalen McClain. Hartford had a really strong offseason to get back on track after McClain, as a true freshman, maybe had a leg up on him at the end of the year. Neither guy played a ton this past season. Handful of tackles here, special team stuff, backup duty. You need one of these guys to truly emerge as a reliable starting safety. Hartford in the class of 2023 was a 4-star. He was 161 overall. He was the number 11 ranked safety. He was the number 3 player in the state of Ohio. He has a higher pedigree than Jalen McClain, who came in a year later and was the number 373 overall recruit. A little bit lower on the safety side with hailing from New Jersey. Much like the quarterback battle, I doubt this gets settled in the spring. This may be one that ends up getting settled more in the fall. Also, again, is worth mentioning, like we did on one of our previous shows, that Matt Patricia said he kind of liked the idea of big nickel packages in college. You could see a scenario in which not just Caleb Downs is playing a lot, but both Malik Hartford and Jalen McClain get opportunities, especially maybe early in the year if there's still some figuring out what the depth chart will end up looking like come later in the season.